Steve and Steve here.
Hi again.
We've just been recording a few episodes for the Connected World podcast, haven't we? And while we were doing it, we thought of like 5 things that our customers always do that either annoys us or we think, actually, that's just a mistake. You shouldn't do that. So we thought we'd share them. Do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so these are our top 5 common pitfalls that customers make.
In no order.
So the first one, procrastination and no action. So we've seen time and time again customers who will talk and have meetings and think about doing something, or should we do something else, or should we do something else? And often time will just slip away, and so they've lost out by making no action. So oftentimes it's better to start small and get something on the ground and up and running rather than procrastinate. And
yeah,
it's a mistake we commonly see.
I think these projects can often, everyone gets excited and then suddenly you throw in more and more features. And before you know it, you've got this massive thing where you're trying to boil the ocean and actually you've forgotten about the original thing you were trying to do.
There's always another reason to delay, and let's not start.
Got to go into
quite,
next year's budget. And actually, you know, if you'd just done that bit you talked about at the start, you could have done it on a subscription model and you could have had it in and working in a few weeks. And so they call it like the cost of delay.
Yeah.
Like the cost of not doing something is probably much bigger than actually what you're going to outlay.
The opportunity cost.
So don't forget that. I guess the tip then is don't forget that original thing that you wanted to do in the first place. Don't let your excitement get you carried away. Do something rather than nothing.
And number 2, Steve?
So I've called it like this solution without a problem or technology without benefit. So it's hearing that we want something, say AI or whatever it might be, but not actually understanding what the value is going to bring. So we've given quite a few examples of this throughout the podcast, people collecting data when they don't know what they want to do with it. People saying, I need to have machine learning in my product, even though I don't know what value it's going to bring to my customer. So I suppose for me, number 2 is just always understand the problem that you're trying to solve. Start with that. There's a saying in product management, which is fall in love with the problem, not the solution. So if you can understand the problem, the way to fix that might change over the time, but very rarely the problem goes away. So really the first thing that you have to know is what is the problem you're trying to solve.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And the third one we've got down, so once you understand the problem and you've thought this is the solution that we need, time and time again we see customers, companies forget about the change management part. So we're going to solve this problem with this solution, and here it is, and there you go. But they've completely missed and forgotten about what's this going to mean for my people, for my colleagues, my workers. What's it going to do for the culture? How is it going to be adopted? Is it going to be adopted? What about the training, the documentation? That whole change management piece is often forgotten about. And you can have the best solution in the world, and if you've forgotten the change management piece, invariably the whole thing will fail.
Yeah, completely agree. And my next one is the in-house built project that can no longer be supported. So for me, you know, it's brilliant to see, and we've talked about it here as well, it's really easy now to actually start small, build something in-house. Maybe you've got an engineer who loves doing this kind of thing and they can look up in ChatGPT how to do it, get started and do some innovation, and that's brilliant. But time and time again, we see these things grow and grow and grow, and then they get to a point where maybe that engineer leaves, or it's a huge, massive Excel spreadsheet that no one knows how to support. And as soon as someone touches the wrong formula, the whole thing breaks.
Yeah, whoever touched it last broke it.
Yeah, exactly. So while, you know, these we definitely encourage these kind of give it a go, do it, but try and recognize the point at which it's time to think, hang on, this is working for us. More and more people are needing it. It's become business critical. Now you need to think about replacing it with a business critical ready system.
We need to put some governance around this.
Yeah, governance, change control, make it actually ready to be enterprise grade and supportable, and have that kind of continuity aspect where we can remove risk from it. Okay, have we got a last one?
We do. The final one I've got here is, and I think it's probably the one that I hate the most, is where a company will do or implement something, a solution, and it's just a tick box exercise. They've been told to do it, or it's been mandated, or whatever reason, and the project goes ahead, it gets implemented, and really, the whole project really is just a failure because it's just been done as a tick box exercise, and it's not been adopted properly, and it's not bringing business benefit, or no one's looking at the system. It's just kind of there, and you have to use it. And
I agree, and I think we see that as well for us. We like to get involved and understand the value and make sure that actually seeing it deliver results at the end is the bit. And if it's just like, oh, it's in now, thank you, goodbye. Well, for us it's very transactional, and that's not where we want to be. And so I suppose that the tip is to, speak to your partners early, because a lot of times people think, well, we know all this. An OEE system is a good idea because almost everyone has to have one these days. But people kind of make the decision on 80-90% of the decision before they speak to a supplier. But actually, I would say speak to the suppliers earlier, because they're actually, they've done it hundreds of times before.
Yeah, been there and done it.
Yeah, they are the experts. And certainly the majority of suppliers will talk to you, even if you end up going off and buying someone else's. You're happy to engage in early stages of that kind of thing. So, yeah, and if you are just doing it for the sake of it, maybe you do need to go back to that value piece we talked about and actually understand what is the underlying value. Why does the enterprise believe that they need to drop this on a site, and actually try and understand that value rather than just, well, they told me to do it.
Great. So those were our top 5 common pitfalls.
Thanks for joining us.